Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs and Turnbull Insurance Service since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. A special good morning to our new Facebook friends, and thank you for the comments.
Good morning and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. Halloween may be a couple of weeks away, but we already have a treat for you today. In addition to our regular airings on Fox, Fox's sister station, WUTR, will now be airing Mohawk Valley Living at 11:30 in the morning as well. Today we are going to be taking a little trip to my town-in-law. Well, basically I'm talking about the town where my wife was born, Boonville. And then we're going to be taking a further trip to the charming little hamlet of Ava. So stay tuned.
I'd love to start a hobby farm, a senior citizen commune. We could all work together, organic we will grow, and we'll write from Mother Earth catalog, 'cause we're old now and we know. Moving up to the San Bernardino Mountains, plant some pomegranate trees.
Enjoy German music and a traditional German dinner at the Utica Manicore today. $10 for adults, $6 for children, and takeout is available from noon to 4. That's today at the Utica Manicore on Flanagan Road in Marcy. It's time for the Skinner and Demoulas road trip. We stop into Richfield Springs, where they have a full line of Jeeps, powerful Rams, and Ford trucks ready to take on any challenge. This week, we're heading north to Ava and the Boonville area. The town of Ava was actually part of Boonville until 1846. It sits on the eastern edge of the Tug Hill Plateau and shares its plentiful snowfall. Rising above the town is the stately Hilltop Methodist Church, built in 1869.
I have some lawyerly advice, and it's this. If you are going to get yourself into trouble, come out here and do it in the town of Ava, because that will give you the opportunity to come to this courthouse and to see the courtroom from the inside with all of the wainscoting and the beautiful wood. Now, I had always thought that Ava was named after some beautiful woman, but as a matter of fact, Ava is named after another town by that name in the country of Burma.
You don't actually have to get in trouble with the law to stop in and appreciate the beautifully restored 1897 Ava Town Hall, located near the Four Corners in Ava. What's better than GPS? Getting directions at the tiny little Ava post office.
I am just a few feet west of the crossroads here in Ava, and if you go up this little hill and walk a little distance, you'll see a marker here for a very famous American, Nat Foster. He was a famous Revolutionary War scout and a hunter and a trapper, our very own Davy Crockett of the Mohawk Valley. Legend has it that he coined the phrase leather stocking when he walked into a tavern wearing leather stockings.
Nat Foster is a popular character of Adirondack folklore. He was an acquaintance of James Fenimore Cooper, and many believe he was the prototype for Cooper's character Natty Bumppo. Legend has it that Nat Foster, clad in his buckskins, entered a St. Johnsville tavern and announced that his name was Leatherstocking.
Another famous son of the town of Ava is Hiram Cronk. He lived in this town and he served in the War of 1812. He was the last surviving veteran of the war, and he lived to be 104 years old. When he died, his body was displayed in the City Hall of New York City, and an estimated 25,000 people came to pay their respects.
Did you find the answers to your questions? Realize the rules to the game. Did you live and learn all of life's lessons?
100 years ago, cheese factories dotted the countryside, and dairy farms were plentiful. Today, the Thornton family farm is one of the only remaining farms in Ava. The family has been farming here on Webster Hill since before Ava was Ava. Today, Dave Thornton is carrying on the family farming tradition, growing hay to feed their cattle and the livestock of other area farmers.
We've been on this farm I'm the 8th generation. Dad milks cows, milks 60, and has another 60 young stock. And it's been almost 200 years here on Webster Hill. Dad has always been in the dairy, and when I moved home, we started making hay to sell, and it just grew, got bigger every year, and now we're probably covering 400 or 500 acres. Well, it's a lot better ground up here for hay than corn, except for this year with the drought. The drought really played a big factor in the yields. I like being outdoors. I like working outdoors, and I mean, this summer was phenomenal. We had such beautiful weather. It hurt us a little because of the lack of rain, but it's just in my blood, and I've been on the farm since I was a little kid. It is home. And we have pretty harsh winters usually, and we have pretty balmy summers actually compared to some other parts. Yeah, but it is nice. So we've got a nice climate here, and it's good country for growing hay. It lets me know I'm home. I'm making this valley my home. I'm so proud to call it my home.
Stay tuned. We head from Ava to Boonville after the break.
I want to live. Yes, I'm making this valley my home.
Watch Mohawk Valley Living on Fox WFXV every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and 11 o'clock p.m., followed by an encore. And now also available on WUTR every Sunday morning at 11:30 a.m. Here's what's hot on the lot. It's Truck Month at Skinner and Demoulas. Check out the great selection of bold new Rams and Ford trucks. Come take one of these exciting new machines out for a test drive. You'll be prepared for anything in your new truck from Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs. You go the extra mile for your small business and should expect the same from your insurance company. For over 140 years, Turnbull Insurance Service has been committed to local small business. For your commercial coverage, turn to the company ready to go that extra mile. Turn to Turnbull. Visit Fenimore Art Museum in Cooperstown for Tasha Tudor around the year. With over 100 outstanding examples of this beloved author and illustrator's original art. A heartwarming exhibit from the Norman Rockwell Museum, on view through December 31st. Kick off your holiday shopping at the 36th Herkimer County Arts and Crafts Fair, Saturday and Sunday, November 10th and 11th. This juried show is one of the area's largest, with folk art, glassware, wood furniture, specialty foods, and more on the HCCC campus, November 10th and 11th. Tom's Natural Foods is your connection to local farms for natural and organic fruits and vegetables, meats, eggs, cheeses, and other milk products at Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally.
Are you going to be shocked by your heating bills this winter? Hi, I'm Tom from Herkimer Home and Leisure, and we're here to help you lower your heating bill. Come in and check out our brand new showroom with a huge selection of wood, pellet, and gas stoves, including Heat and Glow, Yodel, Hearthstone, Lopi, and Harmon. Turn your old inefficient fireplace into a beautiful centerpiece with a wood, pellet, or gas insert. Herkimer Home and Leisure, 5 miles north of Herkimer on Route 28, Oberly Road.
Come sample the foods and desserts at Yorkville Organics. Discover how delicious organic, gluten-free, and live food can be. Visit Yorkville Organics at 150 Whitesboro Street in Yorkville. Having the guys over to watch the game? Maria's Pasta Shop will make you MVP with party trays to go, or homemade pastas, sauces, and meatballs to cook yourself. Visit Maria's Pasta Shop, Oneida Street in Utica, or mariaspastashop.com.
I'd love to start a hobby farm, a senior citizen commune. We could all work together, organic we will grow. And we'll
Special thanks to Turnbull Insurance Service and Mark and Jim Turnbull. Their continued support makes the show possible.
Move it up to the San Bernardino Mountains, plant some pomegranate trees.
We continue our adventures heading from the Four Corners in Ava, north on Route 26 and east on 294 to Boonville. It wasn't until 1795, when Garrett Boone arrived, that the first attempt was made to establish a permanent settlement in Boonville. The 1850s was the golden decade, when manufacturing boomed with the help of new roads, the canal, and the railroad. There's still manufacturing in Boonville. We stop in to Boonville Manufacturing, a company that has been producing gaskets for over 70 years. The company has survived the changing times by adapting their products to suit the changing needs of the industry.
It started in 1940 as a family-owned business, and they supported the dairy industry with gaskets for the processing. In 1990, the current owner purchased it and expanded the business into the automotive aftermarket transmission valve body gasket business. And we do a lot of air freshener type products that you end up in people's homes. And we do silicone beading on gaskets, and that's the majority of it. We typically sell to the packager who does all the marketing and all the research on the various kits, and they're sold worldwide by our customers. We have 8 full-time employees, and they do the die cutting on the presses and also the hand labor work needed to prepare them for shipment. The reason I like this business is it's very dynamic. It changes every day, all kinds of new applications that can happen, so it's very exciting. Love working in Boonville. The people are great. It's just a great environment to be in.
Here's something to add to your trivia notebook. The wicks that are a part of your air freshener, the part that gives off the fragrance, the odds are that they were made right here in Boonville, New York at Boonville Manufacturing.
Wrapping up the misery, filters through our minds. Wait for the color, we're promised once again. Lay me in the beauty of our sin. And don't leave me here among the shadows. Don't lay me down a long time. Just keep me alive, your memory, till all of our days turn into.
There is something here that has been as much a part of Boonville as the Boonville Fair, as snow, and it's been around since 1852. That's 160 years. The Boonville Herald. Imagine that, a newspaper. 160 years that it's been published.
Empty storefronts challenge as the dollar bill declines. Street corner serenades us, old familiar lines. Empty bottles.
If you want to talk about a Boonville tradition, then you have to mention Slim's here on Main Street in Boonville. My brother-in-law has been coming here for I can't tell you how many years, and he is one of the first to come in the morning. They open at 6 o'clock, but I'm told he is here at 5:30 in his truck waiting, and that there are several other guys who do the same thing. They're 5:30 in the morning waiting for the place to open. The breads are all baked right here on premises, and the pies are homemade pies. They are delicious.
It's called Slim's because the original owner's name was Slim Cole. It's been in this location since 1963. I know that Yoggers took over in like 68. They owned it up until about the late 80s. John and Brenda Gaylord took it over early 90s until 2007, which is when I bought it. Well, it's just a place people come to sit and chat and, you know, take their time and hang out and meet everybody that comes in. Yeah, so it's like a hometown feel.
Typical of Boonville hospitality, come here today and the owner, Chris, has made an offer you can't turn down. Buy one entree, get the second entree for free.
Slim's restaurant opens at 6 a.m. 7 days a week for breakfast and lunch. It is located at 129 Main Street in Boonville.
Just trying to find my way back home. Just trying to find my way back home.
We say goodbye to Boonville and head northwest along scenic Route 50 to John Street near the village of Constableville. This beautiful countryside is the perfect setting to raise paint horses at Dalmatian Farm. These championship horses are raised by Dwayne Doc Dallaire, well known around the country for breeding prize winners. Paints are one of the fastest growing breeds in popularity in North America, bred for their conformation and colorful, unique markings.
This is Snowman, and he has what's called, come here. Oh, no, you're not gonna let me show it to the viewers? A medicine hat, see it underneath there? And according to the Indian folklore, this was the best kind of horse to ride into battle because it brought you good luck?
Well, I love the paints because they're all different. Each one has a different color and each one has a different personality. The patterns don't really repeat themselves. So every time there's a new foal born here, it's a big surprise of what color it's going to be and how it's actually going to look. I've had champion racehorses over the years, and I've had champion riding and saddle horses. Right now we have 2 world champion halter horses here. One is called Easy on the Brandy, and she's a big black and white mare, and she came out of South Dakota. She has 32 halter points, 11 of those are world championship points. Our other mare is called I'm a Fancy Crayon, out of Crayon Scribbles, and Scribbles is another important bloodline in the paint horses. And she has 15 championship halter points on her, and we have babies of both of them here. Horses get in your blood, and it's a different kind of love for any other animal. Horses are a majestic, kind creature, and I just always loved them, I guess.
You can take riding lessons at Dalmatian Farm. Children's lessons are Tuesdays from 5 to 8, and adult lessons are Thursday nights from 6 to 9. Call 397-2887 for lessons or boarding inquiries.
The Mohawk Valley. We're going on a road trip. Come on along, pack up the family.
In 1866, James B. Turnbull walked to farms and villages to visit his customers, earning their trust. Today, the 4th generation of Turnbulls continue that dedication, tailoring a life insurance plan to suit your unique needs and priorities. Turn to the company that is out there to earn your trust. Turn to Turnbull. Be sure to visit the 31st Annual Adirondacks National Exhibition of American Watercolors, ranked one of the best watercolor exhibitions in the country, featuring works from the top living painters in North America. View is open 7 days a week in Old Forge. Visit the exhibits at the Oneida Community Mansion House. On display, the braidings of Jessie Catherine Kinsley, the needlework of the Oneida Community women, and Lady Hamilton tableware. Tour the exhibits and the gardens at the Oneida Community Mansion House in Oneida. For centuries, Sharon Springs has been a destination for replenishing body and spirit. Discover the magic yourself. Enjoy dining at fabulous cafes and restaurants. Browse quaint shops and meet skilled artisans. Explore the history and magic of Sharon Springs on scenic routes 10 and 20.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospitals on Sundays is a part of Mohawk Valley living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment, and you're only available on the weekend. Sure, I have an appointment Sunday with Dr. Karen. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
Shop the Little Falls Antique Center and the Shops at 25 West with over 40 local vendors. Visit Wisteria Lane, featuring eco-friendly farmhouse laundry soap. Check out the fashion-forward, recycled vintage clothing at We Wear Vintage. Stock up on the season's jams and jellies at Homespun Memories and explore the ever-changing antiques at the new vendors upstairs. Shop local at the Little Falls Antique Center and the Shops at 25 West at Canal Place in Little Falls. Meelan's Meat Market is your meat headquarters, featuring low-salt, low-fat smoked ham and store-made kielbasa. Every hot dog, beef patty, and sausage is made by Bob Meelan himself. You'll find everything from store-made meats to fresh salads and tabbouleh at Meelan's Meat Market in Clark Mills.
There's something in you, just can't explain. Bring the sun that shines down.
This week we head south of Utica following Route 12 to the Valley of the Shenango and the town of Sherburne. The area was originally inhabited by the Oneidas and settled by Europeans around 1792. Some believe it was named for early settler James Sherburne, and others from the inspirational English hymn Sherburne, popular with the early pioneers. The new Historical Society building is located in Sherburne's historic park and is the office of town historian Rose Wellman. We learn that the building was dedicated in memory of Josh Webb, who originally started the log cabin before he died in 1998. The building houses photos, artifacts, and historical displays. The historic park also has a picnic pavilion, a railroad section house, a historic bridge, perennial garden, and an old one-room schoolhouse. The schoolhouse was built in 1890 and used for classes until 1947. It was moved to the historic park and dedicated in September of 2000, with former students in attendance.
This one-room schoolhouse was moved 3 times until it found a permanent home here at the Sherburne Historical Park. It's really worth coming down here, especially if you were one of those people who attended a one-room schoolhouse, because it has an original blackboard and inkwells that go way back. As a matter of fact, I can remember having an inkwell just like that one when I went to grade school.
Now I've been to the mountaintops and my share of troubles too. But if I could do it all again, Lord, you know just what I'd do. If I could have just one wish, take a trip back in a time machine to the day I learned to play the wildwood flower on black diamond string. Well, I don't know if they still make them. Back then they were a mess. And a good time didn't cost much.
The smell of autumn is in the air, so we take a drive to the Rogers Environmental Education Center to enjoy the changing of the seasons. There are 600 acres offering a variety of habitats for walkers, birdwatchers, and nature lovers.
Even though the indoor classroom school is back in session, you can still come down here to Rogers Conservation Center and find a classroom of nature. You can walk these trails. There are some 7 miles of trails. There are exhibits, and then you can end the day with a picnic.
In the early 1900s, 1909, the state, which was called, I think, the Conservation Department at that time, was convinced to open up a game farm. And it was here at at this site, and it was started by a person named Mr. Rogers and his wife Gertrude Rogers. And so they acquired land so that they could keep alive all of the creatures that they wanted to raise here. They raised pheasants here over the years. They also tried raising fish. They tried raising some types of waterfowl. And then they kind of settled into just raising pheasants. And they did that for a number of years, and then in the early 60s, the State Department decided that they needed to close down this game farm. And so they were going to just shut it down, and the people of Sherburne thought, oh, how can we lose this resource that we've had here for so many years? And by hook or by crook, they were convinced by the Rotary Club that they should turn it into an education center, an environmental education center, which at that time was called a conservation education center. So in 1967, it officially opened as the Rogers Conservation Education Center and has been here ever since. They will find what I term backyard wildlife. You know, this is habitat that is common throughout central New York, and we have trails that go towards the river. We have trails that go up into higher elevation, and woodland trails, field trails, so that people can see different types of habitats, and then if they're quiet enough, they can see some of the wildlife that lives there. You know, we get to see a lot of things, and this is the type of place where a person looks out their window and sees some wildlife and then alerts everybody else, and we all run to the window to see what it is. So we've seen some very wonderful things here, and people who visit can see those same things if they're just a little patient and a little quiet.
The Rogers Environmental Education Center's grounds are open daily from sunrise to sunset. There are free programs offered throughout the year. This Saturday, there is a walk to Rexford Falls Gorge from 10 to noon. And at 1:30, there is a free program, Watchable Wildlife, getting ready for winter.
Travis, boy, do you remember? Travis, have you lost your mind? Travis,
Here's what's hot on the lot. It's Truck Month at Skinner and Demoulas. Check out the great selection of bold new Rams and Ford trucks. Come take one of these exciting new machines out for a test drive. You'll be prepared for anything in your new truck from Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs. Allie Lynn's Home and Accessories for distinctive gifts. For the tasteful. For the holidays. For American made. Allie Lynn's Home and Accessories, West Park Row in Clinton. Visit Trenton Teas, specializing in only premium quality teas, the finest varietal and herbal teas available. Nearly 100 different teas and tea accessories and scone mixes. Come in and sample teas of distinction at Trenton Teas in downtown Utica. Oscar's Picture Framing offers hand-finished molding and restoration of antique frames, preserving artwork, pictures, needlework, and memorabilia. Oscar's Picture Framing, Kellogg Road, New Hartford. Fall fashion begins at the Village Crossing. Shop for the latest in women's attire, jewelry, shoes, and handbags, designed to delight. The Village Crossing on the Village Green in Clinton. Call Yannick Excavating for all your residential and commercial projects, from new construction and land clearing to septic systems, driveways, basements, ponds, and topsoil. Visit yannickexcavating.com. Celebrate the season at North Star Orchards with sweet cider, fresh baked pies, and cider donuts. Add some autumn color with jumbo mums, gourds, and Indian corn. And take a wagon ride and pick your own pumpkin Saturdays and Sundays 10 to 4 at North Star Orchards in Westmoreland. Shop Shelter for handmade Adirondack furniture designed by craftsman Jim Kiefer. He works with you to create custom pieces to your specifications, from dining room and coffee tables to bookcases, beds, and bunks. Call or visit Shelter on Main Street in Old Forge. The Longaretta Law Firm, protecting your rights and advising you in matters of legal importance. Call for your free consultation, 735-6162. Expecting company? Just call Deansboro Superette. They prepare delicious Middle Eastern platters for any number of guests. Call 841-4377. If you're in a collision, you need precision. Call your insurance company first and then choose Precision Unlimited, providing expert auto body collision repair since 1987 on Route 5 in Clinton.
I can't stand it when you're not around. I don't know quite what to do with myself. So if you have to leave me to
We hope that you enjoyed today's show. We always enjoy Boonville hospitality, so much in fact that we're going back there again next week. So join us when we do, and between now and then, enjoy Mohawk Valley living.
singing. Honey, honey, I got to know you. Ain't got no money, but I got plenty to show you. Honey, honey, meet me on the river road. Chi Raposo got a head like a bee.